Many pioneer women moved west with their families. Single women moved west because they were seeking homestead or other opportunities. These women not only helped shape the future of the West, but also earned a new status for themselves throughout the United States.
About 350,000 people traveled west in covered wagons between 1840 and 1869. The journey west covered about 2,000 miles and lasted 4 to 6 months. The wagon space was so limited they were forced to leave most home comforts behind. And when the trail became too steep, they often tossed out the few treasures they had.
The wagon being built light was so arranged that when it closed up, it could be used as our bedroom. The bottom was divided into little compartments. After putting in our provisions, a floor was constructed overall, on which our mattress was laid. The wagon was lined with green cloth with 3 or 4 huge pockets on each side. Mr. Frink brought a small sheet iron cooking stove, which was lashed behind on the wagon. Margaret Frink. We launched out on the prairie this morning, and such time we had. Storming, snowing, and sleeting, with no place of shelter. We came to a bad-looking, muddy place where our horses broke through the sod, and we were stuck. I stood in the sleet and held 4 horses for 2 hours. Margaret Frank.
Women faced many hardships while on the trail. They were expected to cook, wash clothes, and take care of the children.
It was a great country for children. Mine spent a fair share of their lives on the top rail of the corral, watching a show which to them was rodeo and circus combined. Something was always going on in the corrals. There were calves and colts to be branded, young horses to be halter broken, and ridden with frequent eruptions of bucking. They would run and tell me when something exciting happened, and I was up there on the rail with them in spirit, far more than in the kitchen peeling potatoes or baking bread. Danny Alderson.
They also faced disease and accidents that killed their loved ones.
A baby died this morning, aged 19 months, making 3 out of 1 family that had died of the cholera within 5 days. We felt like humbling ourselves before the Lord and prayed that He might turn us from the sickness and distress. Sophia Lois Goodrich.
At the end of the journey, each woman had a story to tell. They saw buffalo stampedes and prairie fires on the Great Plains. Some almost froze to death in the mountains, and some died of thirst in the deserts. The ones who survived built new lives in the West.
They settled schools, churches, libraries, literacy societies, and charitable groups soon blossomed. The freedom and sense of equality enjoyed by women in the West helped pave the way for more equal treatment of women throughout the United States. This is perhaps the greatest legacy of the women pioneers.
The many pioneer women that moved west with their families faced hardships and left many legacies behind. They will always be remembered for their strength and courage.